Factoring using the GCF. This is Chapter 5, Lesson 10. You should be in 7th grade if you're watching this video. So your objective is to factor a polynomial using the GCF of its terms. So first off, you should know what this means, GCF, but if you don't, I'm just going to remind you. Your greatest common factor is just what it states. It is the greatest factor that divides two numbers. To find the GCF of two numbers, list the prime factors of each number. Multiply those factors both numbers have in common. Alright, so this is your first example. 12x cubed plus 24x squared y. What you've been doing in math is you've been going forward, meaning you've been multiplying monomials or multiplying monomials. Now you're going to be going backwards. Factoring means you're trying to figure out the original. It's the opposite of multiplication. So you're trying to figure out what it started with. So 12x cubed plus 24x squared y. What is your greatest common factor of your coefficients, 12 and 24? Meaning, what is the biggest number they can both be divided by? Okay, what you should have said was 12. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 12 right here. And when I do that, I'm dividing by 12 on both sides. So dividing by 12 on both sides. So I will have 12 divided by 12 is 1. I'm going to go ahead and write it so you can see it. Plus 24 divided by 12 is 2. Okay, now I need to figure out from both of these polynomials to factor polynomial, what is my biggest coefficient of x squared and x cubed? I mean my smallest, because I can't take out my biggest because that would mean that's the only thing that would be left. If you said x squared, you're right. So I'm going to go ahead and put x squared. When I do that, my x squared comes out. So I have x squared, and x cubed divided by x squared is just 1x, plus x squared minus x squared. 2 minus 2 is 0, so that's x to the 0th power, which means it goes away. And then I just have a y left over. Since I don't have a y on the other side, that means I just leave it there. 1x plus 2y. So if I wanted to make it simplified, I'd have 12x squared times x plus 2y. So now I'm going backwards. Like, that is my answer. But I'm going to prove to you that we did it correctly by doing what you already know how to do. When you have something in parentheses, that means that you're going to be multiplying the number outside of the parentheses to every number inside of it. You're distributing. So I'm going to multiply 12x squared times x. That will give me 12x cubed plus 12x squared times 2y. I do 12 times 2 is 24. X squared times nothing is x squared. And then I just have my y. And that is my original problem, and that's what I want it to be. So I expect to actually have probably a lot of questions tomorrow because this is a little bit more challenging than what you've been doing. It's thinking backwards, and you've been thinking forward. So it's a little bit different than what you've been doing in class. So I do expect to have a lot of questions tomorrow. So let's go on to our next one. Okay, we have 8x to the 5th y squared minus 16x to the 4th y cubed plus 12x cubed y cubed. I want you to figure out what your greatest common factor is of 8, 16, and 12. Okay, what you should have said was 4. If you said 4, then you're correct. So what's going to be coming out? I'm taking a 4 out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and put it here. When I do that, I'm going to divide each of these by 4. And I'm actually going to try to figure out what everything is. All of the things I need to take out in one step, just because I think that might be a little bit easier for some of you. So now I need to look at my x and my y's. They all have x and y's in there. I need to figure out which one is my smallest exponent from x and y. So I have an x to the 5th, x to the 4th, and x cubed. My smallest exponent is x cubed. So that means I'm going to be dividing by x cubed. That means an x cubed is coming out. And then y squared, y cubed, and y cubed. My smallest y is y squared, so that means that's coming out. So that means I have a y squared. And now I just simplify what I'm dividing. So I have 8 divided by 4, which is 2. X to the 5th divided by x cubed, which is x squared. 5 minus 3 is 2. Y squared divided by y squared is 2 minus 2 is 0. So I don't even need to put that because y to the 0th power will go away. It's 1. Minus 16 divided by 4 is 4. X4 minus 3 is just x. Y3 divided by y2 is y. Plus 12 divided by 4 is 3. X cubed divided by x cubed is x to the 0th power, which will be 1 and it'll go away. Y cubed divided by y2 is 1y. So this is my answer. If I wanted to check my work, I could distribute 4x cubed, y squared. So 4 times 2 is 8. X to the 5th, y squared, minus 4 times 4 is 16. X to the 4th, y cubed, plus 4 times 3 is 12. X cubed, y to the 5th. Y to the 3rd. And that is what I started with. So I know that I did it correctly. That whole light green section you won't need to do. It's just something that you should do if you're taking a test or if you want to make sure you're making 100 on all your assignments. Okay. Alright, these are the 2 examples I want you to do before you walk into class. You should at least be able to figure out how to divide by your greatest common factor of your coefficients, which is the numbers in front of the variables.